your own songs, and then like it'll be even better when you bring it to me to kind of finalize or mix or like whatever it is. As long as you're being honest and helping them get better, then it'll come around eventually, and it's good for everyone, you know?
Yeah. I really think it depends on the artist. Some like they just need to be alone and by themselves when they cut their vocal. Because if I say one little thing, then it like totally like something in their heads like, oh, it's totally wrong and I'm off today now. You know, there's some people like that, and those people need to do things on their own. But then some people, they need someone to like, you know, encourage them to get to the studio and just get it done, you know, or they need someone to they need a sounding board, really, someone to be like, yeah, that is good, because they're not for sure, they're insecure about something, or you know, and so that's also I think where it's nice to have a producer come in and be involved. So it kind of depends, really, I think, on the artist. Super true. Yeah. So
what I thought about when you said that was this interview I listened to with Rick Rubin was on Lex Fridman's podcast. Mm-hmm. And Rick Rubin was saying that an anecdote from the Red Hot Chili Peppers record that just came out, which sounds amazing, and he was saying that like you know, they came in from like a guitar solo or something, and the engineer said, "Oh, that was great," and the guitarist said like, "Don't say that to me," because they don't want feedback from the engineer, because like the whole point of that record was they're doing it for themselves, and they don't want the feedback. They don't, and so it's like. Every record, every person, every artist is different and needs different. Yeah, and that's,
some artists need a lot of
touch,
of that's great, you know, for sure. Yeah. Like you got to say it after every take. So yeah, I think it's project dependent for sure.
I usually do say something after every take, because like I don't remember where I got this from, but like if you don't say something after take and then you ask the artist to sing it again. They're like, why am I singing it again? Is it bad? Like they don't know, and you got to like keep them clued into your thought process of why, you know. Yeah. And so that's kind of the approach I try to do with artists. Is like the transparent producer approach. I'm all transparency. That's my vibe.
Me too. It's like that was really good. There's a couple things could be better, and here's why. And you know, that usually works really well for most of the artists that I work with, especially when cutting vocals or something like that.
So you mentioned, so I know that you're transitioning into mixing, but when you take on production clients at this point, is it basically limited to your former clients or your previous clients that you've been working? They're like long-term clients and relationships, or will you still take on some new productions?
That's a good question. I mean, I am still in talks with some people, about doing some projects this summer, and everything that I produce, I do mix as well. So it does become a mixed thing for me. But yeah, I think right now it's just I'm just still kind of filling it all out and figuring things out here. You know, it's a hard transition to make when you're this far in, but you know, I am saying yes to a few things. I guess when I'll be able to say no to production stuff is when I'm just so slammed with mixing, where it's just like mixing is booked for the next 6 months. Then I think it'll be easy to like, right now I'm thinking of this as a transitional year where, you know, maybe it's like 75% mixing, 25% production. And then, you know, maybe at the start of next year, it's just 100% mixing.
Now's the time to start marketing yourself as a mixer.
Yeah. I've already transitioned. I've already updated, social media and websites and things like that, and just even the content that I'm creating is more mix-centric, just to kind of show that.
I saw some of those videos. They were great on Instagram.
Cute. Yeah. I try to do a reel every 2 weeks, and most of them are mix tips that I'm doing right now.
Yeah, so. Reels. I'm struggling with the content creation. Yeah, it's so important.
It is. It's so important, and I wasn't doing it for so many years. And I heard a podcast. I think it was a couple of years ago, saying, you know, if you're not working Instagram, you're missing out on a lot of work. And I was like, oh man, I probably should just get something going on with Instagram. I you know, that's where like my target audience lives. And and so I just decided to stop, you know, investing in gear and investing in marketing and myself and growing my business. And so 2 years ago, I hired, you know, someone to just do social media coordination. And so she works part-time every week with me on just that one thing, just because it's like I need that accountability in my life, just to make sure that it gets done, because it's the last thing I want to, you know, make time to do. It's like, oh, I've got to put some picture, get a caption, or got to make a reel. I mean, making a reel every other week, that is not what I want to do. That's like, I put it off to the very last minute because I'd much rather just be mixing, records the whole time.
Yeah.
But something that a lot of people don't realize is that, I'm not just this producer and mixer. I'm also the janitor and the marketing guy and the sales guy and the accountant and all these other things as well. And
Absolutely.
And so, the marketing department was kind of falling apart there for a while, and I had to kind of get it back in shape. And so, thankfully, Samantha just
That's cool.
kind of helps me get that all together every single week, and just been growing that and trying to build an audience, meet some new people, share some things that people have taught me over the years as well.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love that you were willing to kind of just hire somebody to help you with it when you were. Sometimes you gotta reach out for help, and you can't do everything yourself. And I admire that courage. And I think it also is probably smart because it kind of can give you a bit more distance from the cesspool that is social media.
Yeah.
I've been trying to kind of up my social media game, and I'm like, oh, I should probably share reels of me saying smart things also, and not just my guests. And so now I started putting that on my personal page, not just the Secret Sonics page. And it's like, okay, but now as I get into that, I start to become more aware of how is this performing, or are people enjoying this, and then you kind of realize this is super self. What's the word? You're just totally egotistical, and it doesn't feel good, and it.
Yeah, it's
so
tough.
It's you gotta play the game, but the game is dirty, and it's really hard to do it the right amount. It's hard to because the algorithms want you on there, right? So it's a struggle to use it for good, and then just kind of check out afterwards. But it's definitely necessary. And people talk about TikTok is important, but I think you're right that the people that we're trying to reach are mostly on Instagram.
I think so.
Millennials
and
maybe Gen Zs who are I don't know. I haven't found so much TikTok is working for me so well. But maybe I'm not making funny music videos.
Right.
If that's what I was doing. That would do well.
Yeah. From what I've read, it's just really focusing in on one specific platform is the best way to do it. And so, I don't even have a TikTok, and I feel like I'm probably too old to be on there. And it's hard to imagine.
I feel too old to be on there.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe I need to look into it, but Instagram's already enough work for me. There's no way I could take on a whole nother platform right now.
I think Gary Vee says you got to be on all the platforms, but it's not that or that. It's this and that.
Oh, okay.
But I basically post the same things on TikTok that I'm posting on Instagram.
Yeah,
but they do better on Instagram than they do on TikTok, which is interesting. Or maybe it's just because I have a following. I don't know. I don't have a following on TikTok. I don't know how that's gonna play out.
I think most of the audio professionals who are into audio related podcasts are more than likely probably hanging out on Instagram more than any other platform.
I think you're right.
I guess so.
I think YouTube has been the big player I've been kind of missing out on because.
Oh, true. Yeah,
because of the algorithm. People just find amazing videos on YouTube, and I used to live on YouTube, and I don't at all anymore. I don't watch any YouTube basically anymore.
Oh, really? I've kind of switched to where that's I watch YouTube now and hardly ever watch Netflix or Hulu or any of that.
Right.
But I guess it's different.
Exactly. But I had I think before I became a dad, there was there was a year there maybe 2017, 2018. I was super into very niche YouTube channels and stuff, and I kind of just don't watch any of it anymore. I think I just don't have time for it now that I'm a dad.
Yeah, hey, being a dad, I know how that goes. It's you have to have some balance in your life for sure.
Absolutely, yeah. YouTube was just a massive time suck, and also the visual stimulation for me is I can't stick to it.
Sure.
That's why I love podcasts because I'm listening while I'm I could be doing dishes and listen to something and totally be focused in, and then with YouTube, it's oh, what else is on this other tab,
Yeah.
Anyways, let's get back to your approach to working with artists.
Sure.
So tell me a little bit about your approach to mixing. What I heard, your vocals sound amazing.
Oh, thank you.
I'd love to hear a little bit about, what's your approach to I guess start with vocals.
Yeah, or I can start with kind of just when someone reaches out to me, even, if someone's hey, I want you to mix this song or this batch of songs. I listen to it, and if it seems like a project that's a good fit for me, then I say, hey, let's move forward. I have a mix agreement that we need to get, taken care of. I want to see, 50% of, whatever a deposit basically to get started, 50% of whatever this is going to cost, and then from there they send over the files. I've got an assistant that kind of does all the mix prep side of things. It gets things cleaned up and routed, and so Ben will take the files. He'll load them into my mix template, just something that I've been kind of fine-tuning over the years. And he kind of puts everything where it's supposed to go in folders with the right colors and make sure everything's labeled just right and go into the right buses. And writes.
Are you on Cubase?
I am on Cubase, yeah.
Oh, cool.
I've been on Cubase. I started with Nuendo back in, I guess, when I first moved to Nashville in 2001. And then, so I was on Nuendo for a few years and then switched over to Cubase, and I've been on Cubase ever since. So I really love what Steinberg does. It's just... I have to work a little bit here and there in Logic and Pro Tools as well, but Cubase is, I don't know, it's just that they've always, for me, been one step ahead, and it's just...
people that are on Cubase love it. It's like the industry standard in Israel, by the way.
Oh, is it? Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, which is super interesting, and I think it's because people were able to get cracked versions of it.
Oh, yeah,
like in the late '90s, early 2000s.
Yeah,
and so it just became. It was good. In the end, it was good for Steinberg, right?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean,
because now everyone, all Israelis use Cubase.
Yeah, I've been a paying user for many years now. But that does. I think it did start like that for a lot of people. But it's, I don't know. It's like driving a fast sports car or something. I mean, it's out of Germany. It's like a BMW or Mercedes of DAWs, in my opinion. It's just everything is. Anything you can think of, you can do. I was just,
you could like declick like so easily, and
macros and like custom key command everything, and it's just fine tune things really easily. I don't know. I was in Pro Tools the other day for the first time in a while. I was like trying to do stuff. I was like, wait, I can't do that. Oh, it doesn't have like the control room feature built in, and all these things that I love being able to do.
So SoundFlow is only really necessary for Pro Tools users, is what you're saying?
Maybe so.
Maybe, I don't know.
But
I'll learn a bit more about that later. But yeah,
I love Cubase. It's been great. And Ben, who works with me, I got him on it a couple years ago, and now he knows it well, and he has all my templates. And so he preps everything, edits anything. If the clients need some tuning done, he'll Melodyne it while it's in there. Like I said, write markers, bring in the rough mix, gain stage everything. That's most of everything that he does. And once he wraps up, then we use an application called Resilio Sync. And it's just like a file syncing application that runs on both of our computers. And so we both have certain folders on each of our computers, and it just updates in real time. Like once he saves that project file and closes, it's like on my machine, on my same audio drive. So it's a great little application. It's free too. I did a lot of research when he first started with me as to how we can best collaborate, and found this Resilio Sync application. We tried Google Drive and some other like Dropbox and some of the more common names, and there was always just like one extra step involved, and it just wasn't as seamless and works really, really great. So I recommend that to a lot of people who are collaborating on a regular basis.
It's going over the internet, I'm assuming.
It is, yeah. It is, yep.
Yeah,
it's just...
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's just running in the background, and it's looking to see if any updates have been made, and if so, it just will bring those files directly onto my computer, almost like if there was just an external drive connected to my computer, and it was like you copy and paste them there. So yeah, it's magical. So I can wake up and pull up my machine. It's like, oh, all the, that song is ready to go, and I can just jump right on it, and it's already kind of roughed in, and I can just start being creative and not like spending an hour just organizing and routing and all the stuff that kind of just gets you out of your groove. So having his help has been great.
I hope one day I could start doing that. I'm not there yet, but maybe one day.
No, you totally can. You just find someone that works hourly, and just pay them for a few hours here and there, and then I mean, if they're doing it for a decent rate, then it usually makes pretty good sense. So you will definitely get there.
Delegation. This is the year of delegation for me.
It is. I'm like 2 years into it, and it's really been good for me.
Life is better.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah. No. Having Gavi edit the show has been such a game changer for me. Like we had like a medical thing, which everything is great, but like I was able to go to this medical thing and not worry about like, publishing the podcast, like on a Sunday morning, and just totally be there present with my family. That's such a great peace of mind of not